Hey everybody, what is going on? I hope everybody's doing well. Uh, Welcome back to another episode of the Port Side, a series for the co-angler where I take you with me to compete on Bassmaster Opens as a co-angler, where we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of being a co-angler. Today we are going to discuss the recap of the James River and what a disaster that turned out to be. It was my worst finish of my tournament career by far, but I learned some important lessons. I met some cool people, like always, and let's get right into it. So I took my boat down and I practiced part of the day Monday, Tuesday, and half the day Wednesday, and I did catch 1/4 on Monday on a spinnerbait in a creek, and I caught fish everywhere. It was a fun day. It was a windy day, but it was a fun day. I caught them on various things, and I thought I developed a little bit of a pattern, but I really didn't run into any big fish besides that 4-pounder. And I kind of expanded on it. I went into a different area on Tuesday and expanded on it, and the same thing occurred. In fact, I didn't catch anything over 2.5 pounds probably that day. I didn't know where the big fish were. They had to be there someplace. I didn't find them. And I looked in a completely different area, doing different things on half day Wednesday. Now during practice, I caught them on various things from, finesse to power fishing, your standard chatterbait and stuff. In fact, I caught one on a mag draft that was about 2 pounds, but and I caught them on the a 4-inch finesse worm too. So I caught them doing various things, but as a co-angler, I can only use what is going to be efficient behind the pro angler. And that with that being something that is pretty much weedless and something that gets a lot of bites typically. So with that in mind, I have a bait that I throw on the jams a lot, and I thought that was the deal. I thought I caught a lot of fish on it in practice, and I thought I was going to totally tear them up on tournament day. So day one rolls around. I get drawn out with a kid. Probably one of the coolest kids I ever met doing this. I'm definitely going to root for him in the future and definitely, hopefully, maintain his friendship. Really cool individual. But during practice, he struggled like me. He never really got on a big bite. And so on tournament day, we went and we fished. And that secret bait I thought I had is the exact bait he was throwing. And and so that made it a little difficult. I had to get off my high horse and put that bait down. I did end up catching one fish on it that day. It was kind of a struggle for me. He was on a specific pattern and basically fishing, I don't want to say isolated trees, but they were more isolated than a clump of trees. And he, obviously the pro up front, gets first cracks at everything. But I did end up getting a few bites behind him. My first one came on my secret bait, which is a Texas rig. And the second one came on a drop shot. And then I went a long period without a bite. And finally, with an hour to go, I finally got my final keeper in the boat. I didn't have much weight. I had a little over 4 pounds for day one. I felt like I maximized my opportunities that day, and even though I only had 4 pounds, I could have easily went out and got a 9+ pound bag the next day and had a really good tournament. And if you remember, I guess I didn't share it with you, but last year I zeroed on day one due to I had some line breakage issues that day. Day two, I come back and I have I catch over 9 pounds, and it puts me right back up there. I was in basically dead last, and I jumped up to in the 70s, which if I would have caught fish on day one, I would have probably cashed a check last year. This year, I made on day one. I stayed in it at least, and got what I could. Day two rolls around. I drew another young individual. He was fishing very isolated stuff, and we were in between docks. I didn't have, and this isn't an excuse, I didn't have much to cast at most of the day. But when I did have something to cast at, I maximized what I could, maximize my opportunities. And he, like I said, he was fishing very isolated stuff, but I literally had a dock on within rod tip lengths of me most of the day. And then when I didn't, I was fishing very used water. But I mean, he went out to do that, and that's good. That's what he's supposed to do. I let it affect me mentally, and I kind of got discouraged about it, and that's on me. I've been doing this long enough where I shouldn't let that happen, but it did. So lesson learned. I need to stay positive and keep my head in the game. This game is very much a mental game, especially in the back of the boat. So I can't believe I did it. I messed it up. I only ended up catching 2 fish that day, and they were 2 small fish. I only had like 2.5 pounds roughly. So I had 6.5, 7 pounds for the tournament. Like I said, it was the worst finish of my life, and I probably blew AOI, but I did learn a lot. So guys, remember, if you were in that situation, and as a co-angler, you should expect to be in that situation, especially on a fishery like the James River. But you should expect to be in that situation and prepare for it mentally. I didn't, and I think that's the downfall of practicing the way I did, is I was expecting a lot of bites, and honestly, either day I only had 2 or 3 bites. So this week I did most of my damage on a Texas rig and a drop shot, like you know. One of the drop shot bait, or excuse me, one of the Texas rig baits I throw is the Zoom Z Crawl Junior. This is a very versatile bait, so as a co-angler, we like versatility. I can use this as a chatterbait or a buzzbait trailer. I could also flip and pitch on a Texas rig with this, or a jig trailer. Now I was using a 3/8 ounce. I like a weight, Swagger tungsten weight. I like the 3/8 ounce on baits with kicking appendages. I really think that really brings to life the action of the bait. So whether it's all in my head or not, I don't know. You tell me. Maybe you have a different setup. Let me know what your setup would be for the Z Crawl Junior. That's my setup for the Texas rig. Guys, take these tips. Take my failures and make them your success in your angling adventures. And man, let's just all become better anglers, you know. So until next time, guys, hang in there, keep on casting. I'll talk to you later.